So welcome to Spotlight on Butch Hartman. I want to quickly get our panelists up here and get started because we've got a lot of fun stuff prepared for you. And forgive me, I am getting over a little bit of a sore throat, so if my energy is a little bit low, then I need you guys in the room to pick it up. Give me a sample of your energy here today. That's a good start. That's a good start, especially since I'm sure you were all up late last night partying. Or not. Tara Strong is an actor and performer best known for beloved animated series and video games including Rugrats, Powerpuff Girls, My Little Pony, Batman Arkham City, and of course, Fairly Odd Parents. She's a native Toronto. Notice how I pronounced that correctly. Tara got her start in the Yiddish theater before moving into voice acting. Her credits are being a wife and mom of 2 boys, as well as the founder of Voice Stars, Inc., an online course for actors interested in learning about the voice acting business. Let's give it Yes, you're closest to me. What? Daran Norris hits the Butch Hartman trifecta. He is a versatile actor on Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, and T.U.F.F. Puppy, voicing many of the main characters. He's also in demand on anime productions, including Cowboy Bebop and Naruto. Daran has also added his body to his voice, occasionally acting on shows such as Veronica Mars, Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, and Team America. Right, can we give a big Dinkelberg to Daran to welcome him? 1, 2, 3. Dinkelberg!
Ooh, awesome.
Our next panelist is also featured on all of Butch Hartman's Nickelodeon productions. DeLisle is Vicki on FOP, Sam on Danny Phantom, and Kitty on T.U.F.F. Puppy, a California native. Gray has also appeared in numerous video games and movies. She was the voice of Daphne in Scooby-Doo animated films and dear to our hearts here at Comikaze, the evil Amora the Enchantress on the Marvel Superhero Squad series. She is also a musician and has released several music albums. Let's hear a loud, wicked laugh for Gray DeLisle. Matt Taylor is the baby of the Butch Hartman family of actors, joining FOP as the voice of Spark and performing Verminious on T.U.F.F. Puppy. A puppeteer for many years, Matt is also a comedian who has appeared in the animated films Open Season, Surf's Up, and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. May I hear a hearty, I have this written down here, he's the Ringo of the group.
Ringo. I'm gonna leave that one for Butch.
Great to be here, everybody. Great to be here, it's Ringo. Hello, Los Angeles, how are you?
And of course, this spotlight on Butch Hartman wouldn't be complete without me. Butch. We just saw all of Butch's stuff on screen over there, and he's going to talk all about himself. All I can tell you is he's an amazing talent. He can do everything on earth in animation. He's strikingly good looking, which I hate him for, and his name is Butch Hartman. Let's welcome him.
Matt does the voice of Verminious Snaptrap on T.U.F.F. Puppy. Gorf said Verminious, and Gorf just doesn't know the show as well. Verminious Snaptrap.
Just happy to be here. Just say whatever you want, I don't care. In a pinch, I've access to a vulture.
Yeah, exactly.
Those vultures this anyway.
What's good to be here? Happy Sunday, everybody. This is great. I'm excited. Thank you, guys. Good to see you again.
Awesome.
Daran Norris just turned a very significant birthday yesterday. 50 years old, Daran Norris.
23 years old.
That's nice.
It is All Saints Day, November 1st, so yeah.
That's good to know. Good to know. And
We have a
Tara,
quick happy birthday. Happy birthday
to
you. Quicker.
Happy birthday to you.
Quicker.
Happy birthday, dear Norris.
Truly, you are all musical. Go ahead, what you were saying.
No, I was going to say, I didn't know Tara was in the Yiddish theater. What is the Yiddish theater?
like me?
I do still like it a lot. I just like it.
So it's like, well, I'm sure there's in every city, but in Toronto, it's a really beautiful, like, old people Jewish community. And
Right.
Is there any other kind?
and a lot
There's
of
no old Jewish people in Los Angeles, right?
the Yiddish, which is a hilarious language. It's, you know, a bastardization of all different countries and craziness and Hebrew, and there's all kinds of hilarious expressions that don't work in
Got it.
English, like go spin your own head is like a translation of something very insulting and like a just cuckoo.
Nice,
Anyway, so they
okay.
had theater and plays and musicals, and I started it when I was in like the 7th grade, and I would learn everything phonetically because I didn't actually speak. So all the like little boobies would come back after stage and after the show, go, I'm like, okay. I really didn't know what they were saying, but that was pretty adorable.
That was a much longer story than I wanted, but thank you, Sarah.
And for the record, boobies means grandmother, just in case. Yeah.
All right, we're here. I'm excited.
So to begin the spotlight of Butch Hartman, I'm going to take over here and ask you a bunch of questions, which you guys are going to answer with incredible poise.
Yes.
So to prepare for the Butch Hartman Spotlight panel, I watched a bunch of episodes online, and the fun part about doing it was, many times I'd find these, anybody from Nickelodeon in the audience? Of course not, okay. Bootleg videos on YouTube, and you could tell that it was a kid with a video camera, you know, or a phone or something watching it, and they would laugh while they're videotaping it. So the thing was so shaky, it was nauseating. But on the other hand, it was so charming to see somebody laughing along. So my question for you, starting with you, Butch.
Yeah, I was saying, Matt, thanks for taping all those episodes.
I have a lot of free time.
And for that matter, and I emailed you about this, Butch. My daughter, when I asked about your show, said, Danny Phantom, I'm quoting, Danny Phantom was awesome. His parents were stupid. It was funny.
That's the formula right there. That's the formula.
So how do you capture that childlike wonder and put it on screen?
You know, it's really weird. It's like, I think everybody who's here at this convention and who likes cartoons and movies and comic books and stuff is kind of a child at heart. And so when you can kind of just not grow up really in any real way, you can just be a kid all the time. And you can, if you like to draw and like to tell stories and things like that. You know, my wife pays our bills, so that's the good thing. My wife is here. There's my wife right there. She writes all the checks and she has food on the table. I just draw all the time. So if, I really haven't grown up. I guess that's the answer.
Occasionally, do you draw on the food on the table?
Occasionally I will.
That's good. Great. What's the most fun show that you've worked on with Butch and why?
One more time?
That's a question for Gray.
Oh.
She wasn't paying attention.
I'm sorry,
That's
I'm
so
talking.
unlike her.
What page are we on? What?
I'm always texting.
And by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Congratulations, Gray had a baby recently. Who apparently Congratulations. Sorry, sorry.
Months old. Anyway, I love Tough Puppy, even though, I mean, we still talk all the time. The whole cast still texts each other about once a week, and we crack each other up. We just do little shows for ourselves now, because we're not making new ones, but
Yeah.
that was my favorite.
Yeah, Tough Puppy was a great experience. Everybody on the show, not that Fairly Odd Parents was any less, because all the shows have been great, but for some reason on Tough Puppy, we just had a real mix of genuine, real insanity on that show. I don't know, it was a lot of fun.
I had to show up Sunday morning because Butch, I owe my house to Butch because he's hired me on every show he's done. So
That's right, Ray.
Whatever Butch wants.
That's right.
You know, my introduction, I mentioned that Butch can do every job in animation, and I got that from you, Daran. So can you name one job that he can't do?
I can answer that. Mine.
I can.
Unless you want to, boss.
Yeah, the one job Butch can't do is fail. That's all.
Norris for the slam dunk.
Darren is so good that every time somebody's absent, he does the voice for them, and it's always just amazing. Amazing.
Could you switch
It
seats
always
with,
sounds
could you switch
exactly
seats with
the same.
Darren, please, real quick?
Can we have an example? Can we do each other's voices?
Oh my.
I make Butch do everybody's. He's
Okay.
good with
Yes.
that.
Butch can do everybody's, literally everybody's voice. Go ahead.
Many episodes, Butch is like, let me just go in there and do that.
And
You did the task.
sometimes he scratches the voice for us, so he'll always lead in with, now don't be disturbed by the machismo of the scratch voice. We had a wonderful actor come in and do that, and it's always Butch. It's all him.
Ladies, don't swoon when you hear the voice. Well, I don't do Timmy or Vicki very well, but I do Jorgen sometimes. I can do that. Right, exactly. And then, oh, there's Mr. Crocker. I can sort of fall into that a little bit. Turner! And then, Snaptrap. I could go into Snaptrap a little bit. That's right. I I can do
And a comedian.
And a chameleon, and yeah, a few other ones, yeah.
He's actually very, very versatile.
He started as an actor, right?
Yes, I did.
And he actually plays our hot doctor. He actually
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Dr. Rip Studwell. Dr. Rip Studwell. No, but I have to say, these guys are the most talented voice actors I've ever worked with. It's, when I think, oh, I can go in there and do that, I'm really glad I don't have to because I have them all the time, and they make things a lot better. We have a round of applause for these amazing guys. That's why I have
Butch, that's a good segue. Can you give us a profile, give us a bio about how you got into all of this in the first place, and then how you went about casting all these wonderful people?
Well, I've been doing cartoons since I was younger. I'm from Michigan originally. I drew cartoons back there. Yeah, Matt's from Michigan as well. And I ended up coming out when I was 18 years old to go to Cal Arts. Yay, Cal Arts! Cal Arts. No one? Okay, great. I went to Cal Arts, and did you go to Cal Arts too?
Cal Arts too.
What's following?
Yes. Always one step behind, Butch. Always one step behind you.
And I'm completely disturbed by that. Okay, so.
Which Butch I'm hiding in every night outside your house? No.
You know, I ended up working at all the studios. Back in the 80s, there was no industry going on really, so all the cartoons were being made were based on toys like He-Man and My Little Pony, the original My Little Pony, the bad one. And, I got to work on that. And but anyway, I just ended up selling Fairly Odd Parents to Nickelodeon when I was working at Hanna-Barbera, and I just kind of learned how to do character design along the way, and I did layouts and voices, and I really fell into writing too. I really wanted to be a writer, and that's the key to any good cartoon or any story, I think, is the writing. We always have a great time on Fairly Odd Parents and T.U.F.F. and even on Danny Family. The writing is so great, it makes you want to come back to the next one. So started doing writing and really getting into that, and then I ended up, we did a pilot of Fairly Odd Parents at Nickelodeon in 1997, and that's when I cast the original Timmy Turner, Mary Kay Bergman, and then, well, we miss her, but then I cast Daran, and then I cast Suzanne Blakesley as Wanda, and then found Grey DeLisle. And then Mary Kay couldn't do the show anymore. We brought the fabulous Tara Strong in, and that's history. And the great thing about them, the frustrating part for many other voice actors was I never needed anybody else. When I all these friends are voice actors, you're gonna hire me? You're gonna hire me? It's like I don't need you. I have them. They do everything I need. Great as a million voices. Daran and Tara, they do a million voices, and they can sing as a voice.
Make great lattes.
Make great lattes, yeah. And omelets, really good with omelets.
Can any of you do Butch Hartman?
No.
Hey, you guys, give me another take. Let's show some talent. Come on, guys. Hold on a second. And then he turns the mic off. You've been recast.
Louder, faster, funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tara, you have a background in Yiddish theater. We talked about that before.
What is Yiddish theater, Tara?
Taking the spotlight
Answer in
off Butch
Yiddish.
Hartman is the Yiddish theater star, Tara Strong.
Right. I'm very verklempt from learning that. That's about all I know. So my question to you is, looking at Butch's style from a musical standpoint, does his material have a different rhythm, kind of almost a musical rhythm as a result of him also being a musician? Do you come at the voicing of his shows differently than you might for somebody else's?
Different than Yiddish theater, you mean?
Different than Yiddish theater, different
Is
than
it way
different
different?
animation pieces, whatever you prefer.
Well, I will say that Butch's musical style is authentic to whatever show he's doing, which is really nice. And Butch is one of the most conscientious directors and show creators that I know, and when you say he can do it all, it's so true. I've been on many shows where the writer thinks, I'm gonna direct. And by the end of episode 1, you want to punch them in the face. Because they have no idea how to speak to actors or how to get what they want out of them. And it'll be like, could you write 10 takes of that line? And like just hope that it's the right way. But Butch really does do it all, and he's really hands-on, and his music is always, at least for Fairly Odd Parents, because that's what I do with him, so fun. And all the songs stick in your head. Like just out of the blue, I'll just be going, I wish every day could be Christmas. What am I doing? Like, it'll just get stuck in your head. And he's great, so we're very lucky to have Butch.
She does a great Timmy, doesn't she? Timmy Turner.
Butch, when writing music, I have a music background as well, I find that there are two ways of writing. There's lyrics first and there's music first. When it comes to coming up with animation, are you plot first or are you character first?
We are always, it's kind of a mix of the two, but we're definitely character-based humor, really big time, because any movie, any TV show, any book you read has great characters, you're always going to want to go back to it again. That's why the last 3 Star Wars movies were so bad. There were no good characters in them, except for the characters that were in the original movies. Because you walk out of those movies, you're like, I want to be Luke Skywalker, I want to be Han Solo, and the characters are great. So I always point to The Office as a great example. It's a show that takes place in an office, the most boring environment of all time, but the characters are hysterical, and you go back for those characters all the time. So if you have a show like Fairly Odd Parents that with fantastic characters on it, doesn't matter where they are, you're going to want to watch them. So we always come at it from that point. And then musically, when I do music, I'll do. I don't play music as well as I'd like to, not nearly. So, but I can write lyrics pretty well. So my composer, Guy Moon, I've done all the theme songs for my shows. I'll write like a poem. Here's the poem I want to do. Here's the story I want to tell and the title. And then Moon will come up with the theme music. That's what we do. So that's kind of that's how we roll. In fact, when I do the music for the show, we'll watch the show. It's blank with no music. And then as we're spotting music, because you got to sit with the musician and spot it, I'll sing the score for him. He'll videotape me. And I'll go, so he watches that back and just plays what I sang.
When you were raising your kids, did you do that when they were doing their homework, or?
Well, yes, which is why, again, I don't pay the bills, my wife pays. I sit up in my room.
You draw on the food on the table, yeah.
Did you come up with that melody? Opening for T.U.F.F., is that yours?
Yeah, that's me on guitar on that, actually. I do play guitar. That's my little guitar, yep.
We're learning things today too.
See, I should learn things, yes.
What was it, my assistant AJ Frost is here, what was that great song that we played over and over and over again before the panel began?
Chip Skylark, too.
Can anybody out there?
That's a great one.
Yeah, can you guys sing that for us? Anybody? Sorry, I keep talking into the
And also
microphone.
dubstep.
A show of hands here, how many people know the song? Good, can you sing it for us?
Do you really want to sing this?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I want to hear it. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, go.
We're feeling lonely, sad as I can be.
There we go.
Of myself and an island in an endless sea.
Wow, give them a round of applause. I'm sure they can do it. Oh, great. Well, I'm very impressed.
Make sure she gets an autographed piece of food from you.
Absolutely.
I have to interject. There's a real musicality to Butch's. He has a very Butch style. Like even all the dialogue is very stylized. Butch Hartman. I feel like you know a Butch Hartman cartoon when you hear it. Like you can hear the pattern, which is why I feel like he uses the same stable of people because we kind of know Butch's style, and he doesn't have. There's like a shorthand at this point. I mean, I was 25 years old when I first, and now I'm 40.
Fell in love with. Fell in love with.
When I fell in love with, and I
That's
saw
right.
him.
That's
Yeah, I was like, you're gonna buy me houses.
She
I was
says
like,
that to
cha-ching.
everybody.
No, but it's, yeah. So I think we kind of know he
We
doesn't
definitely
really
do.
even have to direct us anymore. Like maybe one. It's just.
It's true.
When I say us, I mean.
No, my impression of Gray at a session, it's like, okay, Gray, it's your line. Gray, it's your line.
Because I'm tweeting brilliant.
Yeah,
Do you know how hard it is to be hilarious 24/7?
No, but just to show how brilliant they are, it really is true. I mean, we can definitely, when you have great actors who do great voices, you can definitely write for them a lot easier. It's like, we'll be in the room writing, it's like, Daran can pull this off, just do that. Nobody can do that. Daran can do it. Tara can do it. Gray can do it. They can do it. So, and Matt can do it. So that's why we have these guys around us, because they're super, super talented, which is great.
Danny Phantom was more plot-driven.
Yes.
That's interesting. Compare or contrast the experience of working on Danny Phantom and Fairly Odd Parents.
FOP, that's the lingo, FOP, Fairly Odd Parents. But if you Google FOP, you'll get Fraternal Order of Police. But Fairly Odd Parents, very fast-paced. Every line we try and make a joke. We try. I don't know if we succeed every time, but we really try to make every single line a joke. Whereas Danny Phantom was a half-hour show. Fairly Odd Parents, when you watch the half-hour FOP show, you'll see 2 11-minute episodes of Fairly Odd Parents. But Danny Phantom's a half hour, so it's a much longer, drawn-out story, and it's a little more of a comic book type of thing, where it's got to have 3 acts, basically, beginning, middle, and end. And so that makes a big difference, where you won't have a lot of laughs in Danny Phantom. There's a couple jokes we put in it, but it is definitely very drama, very comic book, very action-y, and that's the biggest difference. And the other big difference, Danny has 5 fingers, Timmy Turner only has 4. Check that out.
That's all he needs.
That's all he
That's the important one, though.
That's right.
I'm a little goofed out by that.
That's the Yiddish theater talking.
Yeah.
Matt, you're a puppeteer.
Yeah, I haven't done it actively in a long time, but that was where I really cut my teeth in a lot of performing high school theater, and then that I performed at county and state fairs all over the country. I did a crazy puppet show. It was called the Grandpa Cratchit Show. It's some show that people have never heard of, but it was great for me. I traveled all over, and I did a lot of improv. The guy who started it had this genius idea. He made these little custom puppet trucks, and the puppeteer would sit inside and just concealed, and it looked like, for all intents and purposes, the puppet was driving the truck around. And I would spend hours and hours just talking to these fairgoers and this character, Grandpa Cratchit, you know, and he talked like this, and I do these other characters, and I like this and this. And I just had to talk to people for hours and hours and hours, and that's where I kind of honed all my, you know, off-the-cuff stuff.
That's where the superpowers came from.
That's my origin story.
Talking to the Carney folk prepared him for all of us.
They were cleaner. Oh, they were scary because they'd come up and be like, "Hey, that's a nice trailer. You got your own shower in there?" I'm just sleeping under the tilt-a-whirl, but you know, if you got some room in there tonight, I just just letting you know, okay? Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Click.
See, this is why I don't need to write stories. I just have these guys do all the dialogue and make it up in the room.
Is there something different that you bring to the table, being a puppeteer? Some way that you approach the material differently?
He's always putting his hands in people's clothing.
That is
I'm not a puppet man.
Oh, really? Because I had a lot of fun. I felt great. So, no, actually, it's actually a little more freeing, to be honest with you. You get more latitude, I think, with animation. The characters, because it's animation versus a puppet show, and I love Henson, I love all that stuff, but there's only a certain amount you can do, and with animation, it's like whatever they write, you can just, bring something to it. So, you can be in outer space, or you can be in the jungle, or you can be a cowboy, or whatever. And so the latitude and where your mind gets to go as a performer, and when you bring to a character is way broader. So it's a lot more fun, actually.
When Matt auditioned for Snaptrap on T.U.F.F. Puppy, our original concept of Snaptrap was Harry Carey. He's gonna kind of talk like that.
Ray Liotta and Harry Carey. So
Yeah.
like this kind of intense.
And then it wasn't funny. We were like, it's kind of not funny. But then we were like, can you do like an Ed Wynn? It was like, hey, look, this one.
It was a party clown. It was a party clown. We had one line. It was Kitty Catwell's birthday, and he comes through, and she hates parties, and she hates surprises. So this clown comes through the door, and he goes, "Where's the birthday girl?" And she kills him.
And we all totally laughed, like, do that.
Yeah, do that as Snapchat. And it's like, "Oh, Agent Puppy," and then it was just so fun.
You're crushing my spirit, Mom.
It's a giant rat at the bee's knees. I can see my house from here. Get out of my room, mother.
I got to be Snaptrap's mom, and I was like so excited to be Snaptrap's mom, and I already had a part on the show. I wasn't getting paid anything.
Can you give us a sample?
How is it? Like,
She's like, she talks like this. She's down here.
Snaptrap. We were doing something like off throw mama from the train kind of thing.
Owen, yeah. Funny.
Yeah, my agent was like, "Do you want to read on this? You're already on it." And I was like, "No, I want. That would be awesome to be Snaptrap's mom."
Harry Carey came back
like
as
the
Mayor
spirit
Teddy
of
Bear.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step.
No, that's okay. We got
He
Harry.
came back as Mayor Teddy Bear.
Yeah, we have.
Tough cement. I'm gonna shut him down.
Daran, you said that, and I'm quoting, when directing the voice recordings, Butch always knows exactly what he wants, but is open to interpretation and ad-libs. He's always mindful of pacing and energy and loves to laugh as much as we do. To you and to all of you, can you give some anecdotes of what happens between the tapings or in those down moments?
Yeah, it's just abuse. Yeah, it's all
Loving abuse. Loving abuse.
The kindest abuse you will ever suffer.
You get paid for it, but.
Well, let me take it back.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me take it back just one step, actually. How, from your perspectives, does Butch direct the cast? And where do you find those moments are to ad-lib, and where do you find that you have to stay on board?
Tara?
I'm just laughing at Matt because he was so nice to Matt when Matt first joined the cast, fairly on purpose. And there's this sort of running joke about Butch when he doesn't like someone's performance, like Carlos Alazraqui did something and he just went, no!
God, you're so wrong!
When he likes you, he's really nice.
If you're funny, if you can make it funnier, he'll love you. But if you add something that's not only makes it longer but makes it unfunny, you better be on your A game for the rest of the hour.
He's just himself. Like, he's definitely not putting on a show. He says what he thinks, and sometimes.
You know what's great, though, because we work on the script for like 2 months. We're very focused on the writing, and we have all these guys in the room working for 2 months on the script. So if you're going to change it, that's fine, but again, like you said, make it better than we have, because we're wasting time.
Again, open to interpretation and edit.
There is no guarantee of acceptance of your material. Honestly, you don't need it, because we would get the scripts. I get the scripts, a day or two before the records, and I'm just sitting at home laughing my butt off at the pages, just like going, oh, I can't wait to read this. Oh, I can't wait to hear how Daran or Tara Gray does this. This is going to be great. And you're just laughing in your own living room.
Tara was very welcoming to Matt on Fairly Odd Parents. We've been doing Fairly Odd Parents, going on applause for this, for 14 years. Of course, Tara is the maven of Fairly Odd Parents, and so Matt comes on as Sparky the dog, and we want Sparky to be like Rick Moranis from Ghostbusters. Like,
that's why he sounds like he does. Hey, Timmy, it's really great to hear. I love you so much.
Oh, hey, Dana.
This was Bob, and this was
This is Ted and Ned Fleming. Yeah, exactly.
And then when he's like, all his previous owners.
Right, but anyway, Matt was terrified because Tara's like, who's this? I'm like, this is Matt Taylor's
Terrified.
And Tara kind of
nothing. Just this terrifying glare coming out of the booth.
You better be funny, kid. Yeah, you better be funny. Okay?
So I said, okay. Monkey dance, no, wasn't up yet. Okay.
She's like, don't even look at me. So Matt wouldn't look at her.
My gaze.
And then finally he made her laugh, and she goes, you may look at me now.
You may now look.
I said, it's like staring into the sun. It's so beautiful.
Matt turns to look at her and goes,
she's beautiful.
By the way, Butch,
lost argument.
I have to say, my kids just watched that episode again where he first gets Sparky. It's so adorable. I mean, when he gets excited and there's that swirl and they're so happy and he's going through all his previous owners, and it's like really, really cute.
See, when you guys are done, I gotta go make the cartoon. That's the thing. We record the voices and I go, bye guys, like this is so great. Oh God, I gotta make a cartoon.
the real work. Yeah.
Well, actually, that's a marvelous segue into what we're going to do next. You see, folks, when I was doing research to bone up on this, aside from not learning how to pronounce Verminious, which, by the way, I left the I out. So if you go back to the videotape, you'll see I paused for a second and wonder, is this right? And obviously, no. And he's never going to let me forget it, which is fine. So I thought...
fight in front of all these people, really? Want to do this now? We're going to do this now?
I got all my money on Butch. I got all my money on Butch. You will not walk out of here.
You've never seen better mixed martial arts than a bunch of animation people trying to fight. It's really sad. So I reviewed a lot of panels that you guys have done at different comic book conventions and so forth. By the way, welcome to Comikaze. It's great to have you over here.
Yay.
And I know that there are a lot of questions that you've been thrown, and we could certainly do this for 2 hours and be a great amount of fun, but instead of just talking about the process, I thought it would be fun to actually show the process. So I have an idea that I want to throw out to you, but I need you, the audience, and need your permission to do this. I thought that we would create a character for each of the voice talent over here that you guys would direct. You throw out ideas, and we have an easel over here which would draw. And then afterwards, we would do a 30-second script that the voice actors would act out. We would record it, and because I believe that you can't get a group of people here together without doing some good, we would auction it off for Hartman House, which benefits needy people in America and around the world. So you guys could walk away with a Butch Hartman original, or possibly, and I'll send this to you later, the recording of the voicemail message. So if you guys are up for it, just give me a round of applause.
Do I have to work now? I have to draw stuff?
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
It's like Milli Vanilli. He can't really sing.
Right. You know what we can do? You know that thing where you come up from behind someone, you put your arms through them to make it look like it's their arms? So I'll do the drawing while you just pretend.
What am I going to do here?
Okay, so what I would like to do is, we have a microphone over there.
Do you guys see? Everybody see this?
Yeah, I wish there was some way of showing it on the screen over here, but I guess we'll just have to do this
This is
the analog way.
2014. We can't do stuff like
I
that. You're
Would
crazy.
that I were organized like that. Okay, so anybody who's interested in throwing out some characteristics for characters or ideas or anything, approach the microphone
Why don't we
over
do
there.
this? Why don't we do this? Let's come up with the show idea first, right?
You need a
Show
microphone.
idea?
Grab a mic, yeah.
How about if we do, what we do normally when we pitch a show, we come up with the idea first. So let's think of a concept. How about a show about bugs? Who likes bugs? All right, bugs? Okay, bugs sound good? Show about bugs, okay. And let's see, Tara will be the mom bug. Mom bug. We'll call her Mrs. Twiddle. Okay? Welcome to the Twiddles. We're pitching it right here in front of you. Okay. The Twiddles are a family of bugs. It's the Simpsons with bugs. Okay, here we go. So Tara, if you were going to do Mrs. Twiddle, let's see, Mrs. Twiddle is kind of she's kind of a go-getter, and she's a career woman, okay? She loves her kids, but is always in a rush. Very professional. How would she sound?
Is she Yiddish?
No. No, we want people to watch this. Here we go.
Hey, it'll be big in Canada.
Big in Canada. Okay, here we go. How would Mrs. Twiddle sound?
Okay, everybody, let's get our winners on. Let's party for school. How many dots do you have on today? Oh, you leaned over an extra dot. Okay.
Very nice, Mrs. Twiddle. I'm going to draw Mrs. Twiddle while Daran does the voice. Now, Daran, you're going to do, let's see, Daran, you do the dad, Mr. Twiddle.
Mr. Twiddle.
Now, Mr. Twiddle is probably a newscaster.
Alrighty then.
All right.
Hey, honey, are those hotcakes ready yet?
Ready for you, dear. Oh, straighten your tie, sweetie.
I want to be the baby.
So who are you supposed to be?
Baby.
The baby what? The baby Twiddle?
The baby
She's a larva.
The little larva. Okay.
Little larva.
Larva Ingalls.
Little larva.
Larva Ingalls Wilder.
Larva Ingalls?
Larva Ingalls. But the baby, like on Fairly Odd Parents, we have Poof who just goes poof poof.
Oh,
We realized we had to start making him talk a little bit. So what would he have? Maybe a word would creep in there. Maybe a super genius.
I'm very intelligent. I can't wait to get my wings so I can show everybody how intelligent I am.
All right. Are we good with that? Yeah. Well, Matt, I think you're the crazy Uncle Twiddle who bops in with a crazy invention every once in a while.
Oh, okay. Hey, this pancake done yet? Because I got a new invention. It's a triple-decker frying pan. You're going to get breakfast in a jiffy.
Matt Taylor, everybody. All right. Not bad.
Thank you. It's great to be here in San Diego.
Now, while I draw...
Matt specializes in intelligent voices.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Thanks a lot, Dick. I appreciate it. Is it Larry? How come this microphone doesn't work?
All right, that's Uncle Twiddle. All right, the Twiddles. It's a new show. All right, so give Tara her mic back. While I'm drawing this, Gorf will continue to ask questions, so I don't bore you guys while I'm drawing. Here we go.
Actually, let's do some Q&A. Please approach the mic and let's have some questions from the audience.
Questions about what we're doing right now, or questions about anything in general?
Anything in general. Anything in general.
How about that ISIS situation?
Butch said before that.
Kind of on the fence about it.
My question is, Butch Hartman, first of all, I'm a big fan of his work, and I'm a cartoonist myself. My question is, what's the general process for creating a character that people are going to fall in love with, and then how do you get that character known?
That's a giant question. I'm going to draw it this way, only so I can answer. You know, well, let's see. Okay, what's the first part of your question again?
My question is, how do you go about creating a character that people are going to fall in love with, and then what's the process for getting that character known?
Okay, creating a character.
I'm a cartoonist myself.
Understood. Well, what I always do is I draw stuff that I like. I start with that number one, because if I'm going to work on it for years, I always approach something, I'm going to work on this for years, I better like this. So do something that you like, number one. And number two, to get it known, it just takes you getting out there to get it known. I mean, you have to, you know, when I walked into Nickelodeon, I was just a guy who had never done anything really, but I took a chance, and I walked up to Nickelodeon Studios and pitched the show. And you got to really learn not to have fear. You know, you have to get rid of that fear, because fear is something we weren't born with. We're taught fear as we get older. You know, you ever seen a baby that's afraid of anything? They're really not. They run in to do this. You got to go, oh no, stop, don't do that. But we're taught how to be afraid. So you got to get rid of that fear, and don't be afraid to pitch your stuff to people. Don't be afraid. Don't pitch me stuff now. Don't walk up now, because I don't have time.
Just be afraid right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
We're still working on the Twiddles, okay?
No fear. And then when you walk out, everything's fine.
Yeah, but the point is, don't be afraid to take those chances. Call up development departments at studios and say, hey, when can I pitch to you guys? Take those chances. But when you walk in, make sure you have stuff to show them. Don't walk in with a big dirty mess of in a lunchbox of Post-its, things like that. Walk in as a professional. Walk in with some nice drawings, some colored stuff, a little bit of writing that you've done. You know what I mean? If I'm going to spend $10 million to make a show with you, I want to make sure you will spend the money wisely. I don't want to look at someone like I'm going to give money to this guy or this girl. You know, you walk in very confidently and like you know what you're doing.
Do you think someone can make it on their own? Let's say by trying to, let's say they pitch a show to Nickelodeon or Disney and they say no. How about like trying to build their own thing through social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that?
I can answer that pretty simply. Yes, the boundaries are down. Go for it. Put it online. You can get noticed.
Absolutely. The internet is like the Wild West. So there's really no rules right now, and you can really kind of do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah. Let's ask the next questioner.
Thank you. Give a round of applause, please. Okay, wait. I've completed Crazy Uncle. Was it Max Twiddle?
Twiddle. Uncle Twiddle.
Just Uncle Twiddle.
Uncle Twiddle. Yeah.
That's Uncle Twiddle. You get that?
Butch, can I see it?
That's good. Do the one.
Oh, look, I dressed up. I got a tie on. It's a storm.
Both of you should sign that and auction that off too.
Well, I'm going to do the whole family.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, do it
We should auction this off.
Should we do it
I have an
separate so we can
idea.
get 4 out of it?
Should we do? Want me to do it on separate pieces of paper, and we can give 4 out that way?
Yeah.
Do it that way. Okay, this will be Uncle Twiddle.
Okay.
By the way, if you pitch this show and you sell it, I get 50% of everything.
He's going light on
sign
you.
that?
What's that?
Matt should sign it too, so.
Oh yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
I'll sign mine. Come here, Matt. Now, Matt, can you write now? Are you able to write your name? All right, great. What's the next question?
It's in Yiddish, by the way.
Matt Taylor. Thanks, buddy. All right, thanks. I'll do mine for him.
Okay, Matt Twiddle's coming up next, and our next question, please.
Okay, first off, thank you, Gray, for following me on Instagram. I know it's like. Aww. Tara.
Oh, but then
Don't worry, you're just one of the long list of people.
I have a question for Gray. Gray, how can I get in touch with Tara?
That happens all the time.
Okay, what was your process from distinguishing Poof's voice, aside from Timmy's voice, and were you satisfied in the end?
You mean when he's a little bit older?
Yes.
It was actually really challenging because I didn't want it to sound exactly like Timmy, but then the idea was that they wanted to sound older, but not like when they said they wanted Poof to talk, I thought it was going to be like a toddler,
Yeah.
but they didn't want that. So my brain actually had quite a hard time with that, and I think we just ended up playing around with a bunch of different stuff till Butch really liked something, and that's really all that matters.
The challenge on a show like Fairly Odd Parents that's been on for so long, Tara's done about 100 voices for us. She's done everything. She's done Timmy, she's done girls, she's done boys, she's done side characters. So finding a voice that wasn't like every other character she's done was a challenge too. So I think she did a pretty good job. And
well, and especially since it wasn't, like I said, a toddler, because you look at him and think,
Oh, he's gonna talk like that. And he didn't get to, so I was a little thrown. I didn't know how to poo-poo for the...
Tara, in a throwdown, Timmy Turner or Harley Quinn, who would win?
audience.
Wait, Timmy has magic powers.
There's magic powers.
Yeah, but she's Harley
All right,
Next question.
Next question.
Hi, my question is for Tara, and first I want to say that you and the Brony documentary helped make me a Brony, and it's made my life all more better. So Tara, if you could convince the crew at MLP to do a one-off homage episode to one of Butch's cartoons, which would it be in? Could you see what characters would you put into like specific roles?
Well, it would have to be Fairly Odd Parents, because that's the only one I'm in. Yeah,
Timmy Pony would be cool.
and we'd all make pretty awesome ponies, and luckily this amazing fandom has already drawn us all as ponies, so it already exists, it just needs to get on television. I'll take it to them, though. Thank you for that.
And welcome to the Brony community.
Who's next?
I love the cast. I love Butch Hartman stuff. Big fan. And this goes out to the whole cast. What was your favorite moment working on any Butch Hartman production and why?
Who wants to answer that one?
Well, I love that Butch lets us, you know, if you can do something funny, he's open to your ideas, and it's like a writer's room kind of when we get into the booth, you know, like if we think something, we want to punch something up, and I remember I was doing Vicki, and I was dating Ricky at the time. Was it Ricky, right? Yeah, and then I was like yelling to him, I was like, Ricky! You know, and then I just went, don't lose that number! You don't want to call nobody else! Look it up in a letter to yourself! I just did that as a joke, and I just did that for us to laugh, and then he's like, I like that, let's leave that in. And so I just love how open he is, because he had been, having been an actor, he's just very embracing of, you know, just play and improv. And
it's not that I'm open because I'm nice. I'm just desperate for jokes. So that's really funny. Keep it in.
That's the thing that it's not above, but along with everything else that Butch can do, Butch really knows funny. He knows what's funny, and if you can come up with something in the room during the record that is genuinely funny and not no. And if you make Butch laugh, that's one of the greatest things is to surprise Butch and make him laugh, because that's a joy to see.
You're Latin disco, Francisco.
You're Latin disco, Francisco. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Here, you take this microphone.
My favorite moment was meeting Sparky. My favorite moment was when I found out I got Sparky. Because that was really validating for me as a voice actor, because, you know, I don't have, you know, the experience these three have, you know, the 700 years of animation experience between them, and working on it. But when I got a call and they said Butch wanted you to come back as Sparky, that was really validating, because this guy is a tough judge. And so to get that, to have him want to have me come back was really, really amazing. I was really, you know, that meant a lot to me.
I'd say there's too many like to pick one, because we always have so much fun and we always love each other. I love doing the musical episodes. I love Channel Chasers.
Yes.
That was so
applause, Channel
much
Chasers.
fun. And I love that we had a really fun day when a certain very famous voice actor came in to scratch somebody else.
Who was that?
Oh, there was a very famous voice actor that came in to do Crocker for the day. Just for the day, he was doing another voice, and then you asked him to.
Oh, D. Baker? Yeah. We had D. Baker, who's a dear friend of ours, came in.
And a genius voice actor.
An absolute genius.
But he came in, we're like, hey, oh, D, great, thank God you're here. Carlos isn't here to do Mr. Crocker, but D, just for the heck of it, you're so great. Could you do Mr. Crocker for us? Oh, sure, no problem. So, you know, Crocker talks like this. Hello, Turner. He goes, hello, I'm Mr. Crocker. We realized D had never seen Fairly Odd.
He'd never seen the show.
Yeah, ever seen it. So, yeah.
You were so funny. Your face was like, have you seen the show?
It's in the top 10. D, have you seen the show, D?
Just give it. I, Mr. Crocker.
Yeah, D is a gene. D is fantastic. And by the way, D would be laughing as loud as us.
He would.
Yeah, we're only making fun of me because we want to. But he would really laugh if he was here. Okay, I'm almost done with the Twiddle family. Hang in there, everybody. One second.
One more question. We'll try to get to everybody, but I can't promise. Go ahead.
Thank you guys so much for doing this panel. It's really awesome. I had a question for Butch. I'm wondering if you could talk about, like, early on in your career, if there was any other creators you worked with maybe influenced your work.
Creators I worked with. That's a good question. I worked with Gendy Tartakovsky on Dexter's Lab. Gendy's fantastic. And you're probably going to laugh, but when I first got my start, I worked with Joe Ruby and Ken Spears at Ruby Spears Productions, and they created Scooby-Doo. And when I worked for them, I got to do presentation work for them. And Joe Ruby, when Joe Ruby would go in with a new idea to CBS, because Joe Ruby created Scooby-Doo, a dog that solves mysteries. Every show had to have a dog that solves mysteries in it. He'd be like, yeah, this is a show about pigs. It's called Pig Out. It takes place in Pigsburg. It's great. They're all pigs. And there's a dog that solves mysteries. What? And so we'd have to put this dog at every show. Yeah, so I learned that you could, I was like, wow, okay, don't put the same idea in every single show you do. So yeah, they kind of influenced me. But yeah, I worked with some pretty great people. But Gendy was pretty influential. And I worked with Seth MacFarlane as well. Seth and I were really good friends for a while. And we still are friends. I just haven't seen him because he's a billionaire. But yeah, I haven't seen him for a while. But Seth is great. Seth was one of the funniest people I ever met. And which is why we all hate him. Love Seth. Okay, who wants to see the Twiddle family? Okay. Now let me ask you a question. We would love to auction these off. I'm thinking, what, we think $50 a picture? Can we shoot for 50?
It's an auction. I thought we had 4 people here, and each one of you would be an auctioneer for your own picture.
Oh, here. Ooh, I love this.
Do we have time for that?
By the way, I have a square if y'all want to pay credit card.
No, and by the way, we will start the bidding. Let's see. Let me show you the pictures first. Hold the pen.
And we got it. Yeah, we'll sign them too. Yeah.
Yes, and I think this would be great.
Which is already signed.
It goes to a great charity. Okay, we saw Uncle Twiddle, right? Uncle Twiddle. There we go. Crazy Uncle Twiddle. And this is Mama Twiddle.
Let me see Mama Twiddle.
Can we see?
Oh my God, she's pretty.
She's hot. Because it's Tara. And here's Papa Twiddle, the newscaster.
Yeah.
Right you are, Butch Hartman, right you are.
Exactly. And then we have, now who's the baby? This is Dre, the little pupa, the little larva. There we go. This is the baby.
I want to do this show.
Let's make it right now. Okay, so I guess Gorf going to be the auctioneer.
No, we're going to have each of you be your own. But before we do that, can we do a 30-second, actually, you know what, no. You're going to start, you're going to be the first auctioneer. You're going to auctioneer off whatever we record in 30 seconds, a little voicemail kind of thing.
Who's got an iPhone? Get your iPhone.
Well, I'm recording over there, so we're all set.
Okay,
I'll
great.
just take it off of that, so.
Okay, so we'll start off, the kids are going, how about this? Mom and Dad are getting ready to go to work, and they got to make sure the baby's taken care of, and Uncle Twiddle's going to come in with a crazy invention to feed the baby with. How about that?
Okay.
Good with that? Okay. So it's the morning, and I guess you have to write your own dialogue. Here we go. It's the morning, it's a brand new day, and Mom is getting the husband ready for work. And go ahead, Mama Twiddle.
You look so handsome today, sweetie.
Thanks, dear, but the show starts at 5 a.m. and it's already 4:30.
Are you gonna change your bow tie?
Darn right I am.
I like the one with the antenna.
Wait, let's take it back for a sec.
Yeah.
Here's what we do. Since the dad's a newscaster, throw some news stuff in there.
Oh,
like,
okay, great.
newsflash, I'm changing my tie. Here we go. Starting over again. Here we go.
I like the tie you picked today, sweetie.
Newsflash, I'm changing my tie.
Ooh, the one with the antenna?
Newsflash, I'm changing it again.
Can you help me feed our little poopa today?
No, newsflash, I'm not going to wear a tie.
All you have to do is barf up a little.
Say this. I've got to feed the baby at 5 and 11. Say that.
Baby's feeding at 5 and 11.
There we go. Okay, now let's have the baby. They wake up the baby's awake, and the baby says,
Mommy, how come you don't have a job? What year is this? You need to empower yourself. I'm getting extra credit at school.
Mom has a job, we just don't talk about it, sweetie.
Mom actually wants, Mom has to get to work, so she needs a way to feed the baby and get to work. And so say, I wish I had a way to feed the baby and get to work.
I wish I had a way to feed the baby and get to work on time.
In comes Uncle Twiddle.
Hey, I got this thing that tells me what time it is. I know you gotta get to work. It's like a giant sundial. When you put it on your wrist, but it isn't really like a sundial. It's got little things to move around and tell you what time it is, and then you gotta feed your baby. So here's what I made. It's a machine, right? It's got a giant finger on the end of it, and when you crank it up, it puts its finger right down your mouth, and you can barf right in the baby's mouth and make it to work by 5 o'clock.
About 11 o'clock from Twiddle. There we go. All right. We have 1 minute to auction these off. Okay, does anybody want who wants the Uncle Twiddle drawing? Who wants it? How about this? Uncle Twiddle for $50. Who wants to pay $50 for the Uncle Twiddle drawing? $50? 50 go, we're here 55. You're 55. $55 for the Uncle Twiddle drawing. Okay, 55, going once, going twice. $55 sold to the Ninja Turtle. Great. We're done to get you drawing. Who wants the Mama Twiddle drawing? Go ahead.
Ray, you want to do the auctioneer?
No, this is Tara. Tara, you're good.
Who wants to buy me $50? I'll sign it and kiss it.
We got a 50 bit
back there. Do I have 55? Ooh, 55. 55 over here.
More kisses.
55 over here. Who is $60? $60. Oh, I got a $60 right there. $60. Okay. $65. 65. Hand's still up.
You still have hand there,
65.
yeah.
Okay, great. Do we hear 70? Do we hear $70? 70. 65. Going. Oh, $70. There we go.
$70.
Okay, $70.
Can we get to 100?
75. We gotta wrap this up real quick. Okay. This is sold for, we say 75. Is it 75? $75 sold to the one with their hand up right there.
All for a great cause. Hartman House is a great cause.
I know that there are people who have to come in for the next 2, so do me a favor, anybody who's interested in the remaining 2, step to the side, and we'll take care of you over there. We'll do kind of a mini auction on the side. My name is Jorgen Gorfinkel, Gorf, and I want to thank everybody for coming to the spotlight.
show without music. Don't have a show without music.